50% or more of success is just a head case. Getting up every morning and saying, God bless the competition, because I'm kicking some serious butt today. You haven't even left the bathroom and you're already left the competition in the dust. This page is about just that. There are 5 laws. The first law is the law of self-discipline. Success comes from doing what we know we ought to be doing, when we ought to be doing it, whether we want to or not. If I were taking notes right now, what I would write next to that for everybody in this room would be time management. What do you think the most productive day of the year is? January 2nd, no.
Day before vacation.
Ah, there we go. The day before vacation. Isn't that true? Don't you make a list of all the things you got to do so that you can leave and comfortably get out, right? And then you come into the office that morning and somebody grabs hold of you and says, hey, I need about 30 minutes of your time. And you go, no, not on the list. See ya when I get back from vacation. What would it be like? What results would we have generated last year? I give you guys lots of credit. 25% increase year over year is huge. But watch this. How much more business would have been done if everybody in select personnel had worked every day last year as if it was the day before vacation? You think it might have been 5% or higher? Higher. 10% or higher? 15% or higher? Higher. Well, I'm not even going to go there any further. These guys are looking mean now. Just because we come... How about this? I know of an office that has heard me say about the importance of the day before vacation. What they've done is they went out and built tent cards and put them right on everybody's desk so that the part that you read in front of you says, it's the day before vacation. Second law. The second law is the law of responsibility. And what we have to understand about that is that we are responsible for the outcomes we experience. Let me show you, as easy a way as I can. One of my business experiences was I was asked to come in and turn around a very large company. And so I inherited a sales force of 2,600 people. It was my largest sales force. And we ranked the salespeople from 1 to 2,600. Now, that meant that there were 650 in the top 25%. And then there were another 650 in the second quartile. There was another 650 in the third quartile. And there was a 650 in the bottom 25%. Now, let me tell you what happened. I went and looked at the numbers, and this bottom 25% generated less than 3% of the revenues. Anybody in pain here? This is painful to just even talk about. This top 25% was generating 67% of our business. So I grabbed 20 of the people in this bottom quartile, and I asked them to come into the conference room for 2 hours, and we had a meeting, and I asked just one question. What's up? What's up? I'll tell you what they told me. They told me that the economy was doing poorly. They told me that interest rates had gone up. They told me that the programs that we offered weren't enough. They told me that the customer service we had was really bad. They told me that the competition was out marketing us. It went on like that for the entire 2 hours. Not one time did one of these 20 people in the bottom quartile say, you picked 20 from the bottom. We stink. which would have been closer to the reality because, look, in the same economy, same rates, same programs, these people generated 67%. One of the finest salespeople I've ever met explained this phenomena to me. She said, her name is Mary, and she said, Jack, what you need to understand about a top producer is this. And this hurts if you're the owner of the company. But Mary said, we're not successful because of your company. We're successful in spite of it. Now it hurts, but she's right. You see, if I took a top producer out of that top quartile and brought them in the same industry to a competitor, within 6 months, what quartile will they be in? Top. If I took them out of that industry and brought them to an entirely new industry, which quartile would they be in a year? Top. That means that people are making a choice. All of us in this room are making choices. We are responsible for the outcomes we experience. The third law is the law of attraction. The law of attraction says if you really believe you can be, have, or do something, then you will create the circumstances to allow you to be, have, or do. One of the greatest examples in the world of this is Walt Disney. How many people in the room have either been to Disneyland or Disney World? Absolutely, right? Now, 50-year anniversary this year. Let me tell you, over 50 years ago, Walt Disney built this plan to build the happiest place on earth. Ventureland, Tomorrowland, all the lands, right? He took it to his best friend who ran and owned the bank and said, the only thing that's in my way is I don't have the money to build it. And his banker said, you don't need a banker, you need a doctor. This is a sick idea. He didn't go to a doctor, he went to another banker. And then he went to another banker, and then he went to another banker. And then, you know, if Walt Disney had stopped at the 307th banker that said no, we wouldn't have it today. Because Disneyland got funded on the 308th sales call. If you really believe you can be, have, or do something, you will create the circumstances to allow you to be, have, and do. Do you know what? So far on this page, I have not talked about anything that has to do with tactical or strategy. I am talking about what is in our heads.